If your team uses pnpm, Node.js, self-hosted CI runners, Kotlin build caches, or deployment automation, today's warning sign is this: an ordinary repository file should not be able to make a powerful system decision without review. The immediate protective action is to patch the affected tools and make AI coding agents ask before they install dependencies, run builds, open network access, or touch secrets. This is Daily Tech Hack Global for June 29, 2026. The accessible source set today is GitHub's reviewed advisory database and recent NVD CVE records. SysA's non-exploited vulnerabilities JSON endpoint returned HTTP 403 from this unattended run, so I am not claiming KEV confirmed active exploitation. The lesson is still urgent, because these advisories sit inside the software supply chain. First, GitHub's reviewed feed lists multiple pnpm advisories. The summaries point to issues around path handling, package manager selection, patch removal, manifest identity, and install or staging behavior. I will not describe exploit steps. The defender level point is where pnpm runs. It runs on developer laptops, inside CI containers, and now often inside AI-assisted coding workflows. When an assistant suggests a package update or runs an install command, it compresses a trust decision that a human might otherwise inspect. That is the real AI security angle. The risk is not that every assistant is malicious. The risk is blast radius. If project-controlled metadata can influence how a package manager behaves, then the agent needs a sandbox, a minimal environment, and explicit approval before it turns repository content into terminal activity. Treat lock files, patch files, package manager configuration, and install scripts as security-relevant changes. Second, NVD lists CVE 2026-48930 for Node.js TLS hostname handling. Hostname validation is one of the quiet places where software decides whether a remote service is really who it claims to be. That decision matters for API clients, package downloads, webhooks, bots, integration workers, and agent tools that fetch remote resources. Inventory Node.js beyond obvious web applications. Internal CLIs, serverless functions, build scripts, and automation jobs can depend on the same runtime. Update supported versions according to vendor guidance and monitor official advisories. Third, NVD records developer automation issues involving Gitty act_runner, JetBrains Kotlin build cache metadata, and the Docker cron plugin. Different products, same pattern, automation turns text into action. For CI runners, review Docker isolation, privileged container use, runner tokens, network egress, and access to secrets. Do not let public pull requests, internal tests, and release jobs share the same high-trust runner pool. For build caches, only trust cache sources you control and verify provenance before reuse. For cron-style deployment hooks, remember that scheduled configuration can become code execution with a calendar. Here is the practical checklist. Patch pnpm, Node.js, Gitty act_runner, Kotlin, and Docker where they apply. Segment CI runners by trust level. Remove broad cloud tokens from developer and agent environments. Use disposable workspaces for untrusted repositories. Require a human approval step before install, build, shell, network, or secret access actions. Log what the agent or runner did, which commit triggered it, which credentials were available, and what artifacts were produced. For users and small teams, the advice is similar but simpler. If a repository asks you to run a long install command, slow down. Use a virtual machine, a container, or a throwaway development environment. Do not paste personal tokens into a new project just because a tool asks for them. If an AI assistant proposes a command you do not understand, ask it to explain what files, network endpoints, and credentials the command will touch before you approve it. For companies, turn this into policy rather than heroics. Put agent tool use into the same review model as production deployments. Define which repositories can run automated commands, which commands require approval, and which secrets are never exposed to general-purpose coding sessions. Measure whether runners can reach cloud metadata services, internal admin panels, or production databases. If they can, reduce that reach before the next advisory becomes an incident. Reporting matters too. If you suspect a package manager, runtime, runner, cache, or deployment hook was abused, preserve logs, rotate exposed tokens, review recent workflow runs, check generated artifacts, and follow vendor reporting channels. In the United States, suspected cybercrime can also be reported through the FBI Internet Crime Complaint Center at ic3.gov, and consumer fraud or impersonation scams can be reported to the FTC at reportfraud.ftc.gov. The conclusion is not to ban automation. AI agents, package managers, and CI systems can make teams faster and safer when the guardrails are clear. But speed without verification is the problem. Make every package manager, runner, build cache, and coding agent prove what it is about to change before it changes a real system.